of wisdom in them, and a translator can only use 3 or 4 words to communicate what Allah has said that takes the mufassir 20 pages. Or the mufassir might write a book on just Arrahman Arraheem, and the translator only has 1 sentence to do that job. So it's impossible. But at least some things you should appreciate about Arrahman Arraheem. This is a little bit of a difficult subject, so I would ask you to try to pay extra attention, inshaAllah ta'ala, in order to get the benefits from this discussion. The word Arrahman in the Arabic language actually means 3 things. I know they say the most beneficent, the most merciful. I'm sure you've read that translation before. Or the most merciful, the most kind, and other variations of that. But that doesn't really, you don't really understand what the difference between these 2 things is. So let's discuss it in a little more depth. The word Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim have something in common. Both of them, before I tell you the 3 things about Ar-Rahman, both Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim have something in common. They have the word Rahmah in common. The word Rahmah actually does not mean mercy. Mercy is not a good translation of Rahmah either. Because Rahmah includes in it care and love and consideration. The Rahm of a mother, when a woman is pregnant, her womb, her belly is called Rahm. And why is it called Rahm? Because the baby is taken care of from all the sides. The rent is paid, the food is covered. If there, all the problems, if there is a problem, the mother will have it, the child will not have it. The child is completely taken care of from all angles. And even if the mother is having some trouble, the child won't know. The child will have no idea. Allah Azza wa Jal, when He describes Himself as Ar-Rahim, He's telling us that He has covered us entirely in His love, in His mercy, in His blessing, in His care. He's taking care of you and me all the time. But now let's talk about the word Ar-Rahman in particular. When Allah's love and Allah's care and Allah's mercy and Allah's help is extreme, it's not normal, it's extreme, then you use Rahman. The an at the end, Sighatul Mubalagha, it's called in Arabic, it's used when something is extreme, it's not normal. It's unusually loving, excessively loving, excessively caring. That's Ar-Rahman, that's the one thing about it. The second thing about it, one, it's extreme. The second, that it's happening right now. You say about somebody, this person is patient. I have a patient friend. Does that mean they're being patient right now? No. That means they have the quality of patience. Maybe they're angry right now, I don't even know. So you can give somebody a quality, but it doesn't mean that that quality is obvious right now. Like if I call somebody generous. Does that mean they're spending money right now? No. That doesn't mean that. It just means they have that quality. When we call Ar-Rahman, when we call Allah Ar-Rahman, we're not just saying that He's loving, and that He's merciful, and that He's kind, and that He's caring, and He's extreme in doing all of that. We are saying that He's doing all of that when? Right now, He is being Ar-Rahman to me, and He's being Ar-Rahman to you. It is extreme, and it is immediate. It is extreme, and it's happening right now. Now, after this, the third meaning of Ar-Rahman, the 3 things, it's extreme, it's immediate, and the third one's a little bit scary. The Arabic language has certain patterns. So when someone is thirsty, you can say Atshan. Someone's hungry, you can say Jawa'an. Someone's angry, you can say Ghadban. And someone's extremely loving and merciful, you say Rahman, right? It's on this pattern. But this pattern actually means something that is not permanent. It's not permanent. Atshan is thirsty. Is someone thirsty permanently? No. Jawa'an is hungry. Is someone hungry permanently? No. Ghadban is angry. Is somebody angry permanently? Sister, don't raise your hand. I know about your husband. Don't raise your hand. It's okay. It's not permanent. Anger wears off. Ar-Rahman actually means Allah is loving you and He's taking care of you and He's extreme in doing so right now, but don't think that it is permanent. And I'll explain that in a second. But these 3 things I want you to remember. Extreme, happening right now, and not permanent. Now let's turn to Ar-Rahim. It also has to do with love and care, but it has 2 qualities. This word has 2 qualities. Ar-Rahman had 3 qualities. Ar-Rahim has 2 qualities. The 2 qualities of Ar-Rahim are, it is always. It's ism sifa, it's always. That is different from the first word, because the first word was temporary. This one is permanent. And the second of this is, a sifa is an adjective, is something that is not necessarily obvious. It's not necessarily happening right now. Like if I say to you, you are, like I mentioned before, you are patient, or you are funny. That doesn't mean you're telling me a joke right now. You just have a good sense of humor. It's not coming out right now, it's inside you, but it's not outside of you right now. So Arraheem is something that is not active. It's a quality, but it's not active. It's there. So somebody says, my mother is very loving, right? That loving doesn't mean she's always loving. It just means she has that quality. That's what Arraheem means. Now the beauty of these ayat is that if Allah only said Arrahman, if He only said Arrahman, then the mercy of Allah would be extreme, it would be immediate, but it would not be permanent. He said Arraheem immediately after and He made it permanent. If He said only Arraheem, the mercy would not be extreme. Because Arraheem is not extreme, Arrahman is extreme. And it wouldn't be immediate. So He put both of them together. So we know that today, right now, Allah will take care of me, and tomorrow, today Ar-Rahman, tomorrow Ar-Rahim. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu was asked. He was asked, what does Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim mean? He said, Ar-Rahman is for the people of this world, and Ar-Rahim is for the Akhirah. It's so powerful, because he understood this world is temporary, and the next world is permanent. So he said, Ar-Rahman is this world, Ar-Rahim is the next world. Subhanallah. The Sahaba understood the Quran, and so immediately they understood these things. And they knew how to process them. But now let's give you a simple example to help you appreciate once more just some things about Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. You know, let me give you an example. Some of you have jobs, and maybe you get paid on Thursday. You're waiting for your paycheck on Thursday. And your boss is in traffic, and I know the traffic in Qatar. So your boss is in traffic, and you gotta go home at 3 o'clock. And it's 2:35, and he's not here. And you need your paycheck, because you gotta pay the rent, you have to pay the electricity bill, you gotta put gas in the car, you got things to do. And you have no money, so you gotta wait for him. So now you're getting worried. And he's not here, 2:35, now it's 2:40, it's 2:45, he's still not here. And your friend comes and tells you, don't worry, the boss will be here. He's reliable. He has a good quality, he's dependable, he's reliable. You're like, I know he's dependable, brother, but I wish he was being dependable right now. I don't need that quality inside him, I need it to be active right now. Somebody's having a hard time and you tell him Allah is merciful. I know Allah is merciful. But I need His mercy when? Right now. Allah Azza wa Jal knows when people have a problem, they don't worry about the future, they worry about right now. If you are really hungry, if you come home really hungry, and your wife says to you, and you haven't seen the food yet, you don't even smell it. And your wife says to you, so what do you think we should eat next week? You say, lady, I am dying I don't care about next week, feed me right now. I don't care about tomorrow. And then she gives you the food and she takes care of your now, and then you look at her and say, so what do you want to eat next week? Then you worry about tomorrow. When your immediate problem is taken care of, only then you can think about tomorrow. This is the nature of the human being. We want things to be taken care of right now, and the moment our right now is taken care of, we start worrying about the future. If you don't have money to pay the rent, you're worried about that right now. The second you pay the rent, you start worrying about next month. That's your nature. Allah Azza wa Jal says, I will take care of you right now with Ar-Rahman. And I will take care of your future with Ar-Rahim. Subhanallah. We are wrapped up in the love and the care and the mercy of Allah. But there's a problem. And in these few minutes that I have left with you, I want to share with you this is a big problem. It's a big problem. I see this problem in America, and I'm also seeing it here. I was realistic before I came here. We're a global world now. The problem of Muslim youth in America are the same as the problems of Muslim youth in Qatar, or in Dubai, or in Saudi, or in Pakistan, or in Egypt. The youth have the same problems. You have the problem of some kids saying, some young people saying, and even older people saying, I know it's haram, but Allah is so merciful, man. He's like, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I know it's haram, but come on, Allah is He's not gonna punish me for that. He's gonna take it easy on me. I want to help you understand this problem. Because Allah described His love and His mercy with such an extreme way, some people might try to take advantage of it. Some people might say, it's just a little bit of drugs. It's not that much. I just do it like twice a week. And I don't do it on Friday. And I stop all of Ramadan, I stop. I don't drink a single, bottle of liquor in Ramadan. But other than that, sometimes, it's okay. Arrahman, Arraheem. I'll make Umrah this year, it'll be fine. They figure out they can just eat haram things, look at haram things, do haram things, and it's okay, Allah will take care of it. Allah will forgive. I want to give you an example to help you understand this. One of my earliest jobs was I used to teach at a school. Young kids. These are 7-year-old kids, 2nd, 3rd grade kids. And I thought that these kids are going to love me. I will tell them stories, I will make jokes with them, I will jump up on the desk and I will jump around and entertain them and I will scare them and all kinds of things. These kids used to love me. I used to go in there and tell jokes and tell stories and they used to be loud. The principal used to come in and say, "What's going on here?" And I used to say, sorry, we'll calm down. I did this for a whole week with these kids. I used to walk into class and the kids used to clap. But then after a week, I go back into class and I say, "Okay guys, open up chapter 5. Nobody opens up chapter 5. They're all looking at me. "Tell us a story. Tell us another joke." And kids are talking to each other. There are people jumping around. There's a kid who's got a pencil in his hand and he's writing his name on the wall. And he's looking at me and he's writing it. And he's looking at me again and he's writing it. You ever see that happen? And then his friend says, "I think he sees you." He says it to him and he goes, "I know, but he's a nice guy." And he keeps going. They think I'm merciful. They think I'm kind. So they figure, hey, this is a nice teacher. We should do whatever we want. When Allah describes His mercy and His love, some slaves of Allah, man, they try to take advantage. Like, Allah is so merciful. No problem. I'll give you one more example before I conclude. I haven't introduced Allah to you yet. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Arrahman, Arraheem is 2 ayat. There are 3 ayat that introduce us to Allah. But before I get to the 3rd ayah, I want to give you a simple lesson. Imagine there's a man and he has a slave. So this guy has a slave. And he tells the slave, "You can do whatever you want. Here's the field." He owns a field. He said, "You can do whatever you want in this field. You can eat whatever you want, go wherever you want. Just don't go on the other side." There's a line. He drew a line with chalk. Not even a fence. It's just chalk. Just don't go on the other side. So the slave is happy. He could do whatever he wants. And one day the slave is close to the border. And he falls. And he falls on the wrong side. And he immediately looks at the master staring at him. And he says, sorry. It was a mistake. And the master doesn't say anything. No problem. He doesn't say anything. So he gets up, he dusts himself off. He's okay. Next day he pretends to fall. And I says, sorry. The master doesn't even get up, doesn't even look angry. He says, "This is pretty good. I mean, he told me not to go on the other side, but I've gone twice and I didn't get in trouble. This must mean it's okay." Some Muslim says, I had some haram substances and no lightning struck from the sky. Allah did not send like an axe wielding from the sky, chopping my tongue off when I lied. It should be okay. Allah is okay with it. You try to earn some money the wrong way, you look up at the sky, oh, nothing happened, I'm okay. I could do some more. So this slave starts going on the other side over and over and over again. And a whole year goes by. Now he spends most of his time on the other side. So the master calls him. After 1 year, he calls him. And he says, "So, how's it going?" Pretty good. You're pretty kind. Love it." And he says, "Listen, remember when I told you you shouldn't go on the other side?" He goes, "Yeah, I remember." "Well, I've decided to punish you for that. But I will punish you for I've been counting. Every time you went, and I will punish you for every single time you went, but I will punish you all at the same time. I was holding off. I didn't want to punish you right away. I wanted to punish you eventually. It was your choice. I didn't stop you from going. I just said, don't go. And I told you there will be consequences. But I've decided to get you right now with all of it. All at the same time, 1 year's worth of transgressions." This is Judgment Day.